Crunch Time
with Ryan Kordziel.
It's Crunch Time.
What a game! Unbelievable! What a game!
This is Kordziel Krunch
with Ryan Kordziel.
Hello and welcome to Kordziel Krunch. The aftermath of the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center left both the New York area and the entire country shocked. Heightened security and fear caused Major League Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig to order all games scheduled for the next 7 days postponed until further notice. On September 21, 2001, baseball returned to New York as the Mets were hosting the Atlanta Braves from Shea Stadium in the first major event in New York City after the attacks.
It was a Friday night, and the Mets were playing the Braves, and it was the first New York public event after 9/11.
There was debate over whether or not there was going to be any sports played.
When baseball came back at the beginning of that week, Shea Stadium was still being used as a triage center.
This wasn't a time that we were thinking about getting back to playing baseball.
I remember coming to the ballpark that night, not knowing really what to expect.
Being there was a strange event. The players didn't know what to say. They didn't know. No one was focused on baseball.
As the game unfolded, I think everybody was rooting for the Mets to win the ball game as a symbol of the resilience of us in New York.
I think the sensation of that we felt after 9/11 was pure, and it was kind of unadulterated, and it was kind of this natural feeling of unity.
After an emotional pregame ceremony to honor the victims of the attacks, the Mets and Braves kicked off their game, which was scoreless until the fourth inning, when Chipper Jones singled, and then Ken Caminiti doubled, which the Mets misplayed to allow Jones to score as the Braves took a 1-0 lead. But the Mets answered back quickly when Mike Piazza doubled and Robin Ventura singled before a sacrifice fly scored Piazza to tie the game. After the brief scoring in the fourth inning, the game quieted down until the eighth, with many fans in the seats still trying to find anything to hold on to, as the crowd was equal parts nervous and upset at the events that had taken place just 10 days earlier. Julio Franco walked in the eighth inning, and Chipper Jones followed with a single. Hoping to preserve the game, the Mets sent their closer Armando Benitez to the mound, but he promptly gave up an RBI single to Brian Jordan, and suddenly the Braves had a 2-1 lead. As the bottom of the eighth inning began with the Mets down, the crowd was almost silent. Matt Lawton grounded out, and Edgardo Alfonso walked to bring Mike Piazza to the plate. Piazza took the first pitch for a called strike, and on the second pitch, he launched a dramatic home run to center field to give the Mets a 3-2 lead.
Nobody knew what the right time was, or if it was the right time to come back.
People wanted to find refuge in baseball, in the crowd, and being around other people. It has a tendency to kind of ease the pain a little bit when you have that support group.
It was an important sign of normalcy returning to America.
You know, my thoughts at that time, that I think about it, were that if anybody was going to see me, they were going to see me being joyful and being proud.
It was different. They weren't such an enemy after all for maybe 10 minutes. Once the game started, it was again.
Piazza's going to be the batter.
And here's the man the Mets want up in this spot, down a run late in the game.
It was almost like a blur to me. It was almost like a dream, sort of surreal.
Fastball, 0-1.
We as athletes, in a sense, have some sort of ability to focus. We try to revert back to that, and I tried to sort of find that and say, man, you know, I feel like I'm gotta cry, but I gotta do my job. So I was torn.
Arce has seen Piazza 4 times previously. Mike 1 for 4 against him.
We just had to basically dig down deep and do whatever we could to get out there and do our jobs.
Lopez wants it away. And it's hit deep to left center. Andrew Jones on the run. This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza, and the Mets lead 3-2.
people obviously found it a way to find some sort of joy or happiness or inspiration, you know, but for me, again, I try to keep it in perspective.
This place exploded. It's been waiting to explode all night. Well, Mike Piazza, this crowd was ready. They wanted to shout and scream all night. And boy, did they get an opportunity from Mike Piazza.
Well, it was a great ending, you know, storybook ending. The home team coming back, playing in front of an emotional crowd.
Shea Stadium has something to smile about.
The Mets went on to win the game 3-2, and Piazza's home run has been cited as a turning point in the healing process for New York. Piazza was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2016. That'll wrap up this episode of Kordziel Krunch. Join me next week when I take a look at another iconic moment in sports history. For Kordziel Krunch, I'm Ryan Kordziel. Thanks for listening.
Kordziel Krunch.
With Ryan Kordziel.
Ryan Kordziel. Crunch time.